In this review, I present to you the Parnis Aviator S8. I bought this from Aliexpress during their sale sometime last year in September. I did an unboxing of this watch. You can find it in a link somewhere up here. As the name suggests, this is an aviator style watch that borrows heavily, if not directly, to the style of IWC watches. Do note that I have not found an exact copy or exact watch that inspired this watch. If you happen to know, please share it in the comments below. Let's start with the dimensions of the watch. The watch has a diameter of 44 millimeters, a lug tip to tip of 52, a lug width of 22 millimeters, and a thickness of about 12 millimeters. The case is made of stainless steel with consistent horizontal brushing on the sides, and polished everywhere else. The bezel, as you can see, is not the usual rounded bezel. This one is concave. At the back, we do have a screw down case back with a very large display window. The large onion crown at 3 o'clock is quite easy to grip, and this is a common feature on almost all aviator style watches. However, water resistance is non-existent. The strap is faux leather. It has an alligator skin design on it. At the back it says genuine leather. My favorite thing about the straps is that it comes with a double push button deployant clasp. The black sterile dial is simple as they can get. Minute track on the outer rim, large Arabic indices. They are all printed. Notably absent is the number 9. The offset seconds hand takes the place of that. The minute and hour hands are clearly inspired by IWC. They are very large and legible. It's got lots of lume, but the lume is quite inferior, so I won't be showing that to you. The movement is a clone of the Unitas 6497. It's a huge movement, popularly used in pocket watches. It is proudly showcased at the back with Geneva striping and blued screws, but the bluing of the screws rather, they are just painted on. But the Geneva striping is quite clean, and I enjoy looking at it every now and then. The large balance wheel has a beat, I believe, lower than the usual 21600 BPH. I'm not exactly sure of the BPH of this watch. The movement is a hand winding only movement. It lacks any form of automatic winding. It's got that old-fashioned way of using a watch. It's one of those aspects that I like about this watch, particularly in this aviator style. Although it's a bit noisy to wind, and in a silent room you could probably hear it beating away. But the hand winding gives it a sense of satisfaction and enjoyment. For me personally, there is no hacking, no day and date complication. So the pros: it's relatively affordable. At the time of purchase, I paid 2,800 pesos plus shipping. It has the features one would expect from an aviator style watch: large contrasting dial, easy to use crown. It has an AR coating on the crystal. An added bonus is the deployant clasp. If you notice, it's quite a bit scratched, and yes, I've been wearing it for quite a bit. I've had this for over a year. So cons: so again, it's an homage. So if you're not comfortable with that, then this watch is definitely not for you. Another is the straps. They're quite stiff, and they feel and look quite cheap. Another con would probably be the mineral crystal. I would have preferred this to have sapphire. However, a variant of this with sapphire would cost about 1,000 pesos more. Another con, of course, it has no heritage to speak of. And personally, I don't mind that. Actually bought this watch for the sake of having an aviator style watch. I didn't want to spend a lot of money in getting one, so I opted for a design that I liked and the price that I was comfortable paying, and I got this. It's again relatively cheap, though it's quite huge for my 6¼ inch wrist. The watch does not grab attention too much because of its very simplistic design. If you want an aviator style watch but don't mind that it's an homage, then I highly recommend this watch. Its design is classic, and I don't think it will go out of style anytime soon. For the design, there are a lot of choices on Aliexpress for this type of watch: different dials, different hands, different style crowns. Some have different style cases, some made of different metals. I'm not sure if there's a bronze version of this thing. I believe there is. So I would say the variations for this watch on Aliexpress, I guess you can say sky's the limit. So I recommend getting one with a sterile dial, no branding whatsoever. I think it looks better without any sort of branding, especially since this is an aviator style watch. You actually don't need to see anything else except for that large dial, the numbers, and the hands. Oh, by the way, another personal gripe, I would say. If you notice, the second hand is white, but the hour and minute hands are black. I would have loved if the hands were all white. As you can see, the hands are quite long, especially the minute hand. It reaches all the way to the minute track, and the hour hand reaches all the way to the numbers. But since it's black, black on black, black dial on with black hands. The only thing that is noticeable are the looms, so I would have loved them to be more contrasting, but there was no option like that, so I settled for this one. So there you have it on my 6¼ inch wrist. It's quite large. This is probably the biggest wristwatch I've ever owned in terms of diameter, size, and lug tip to tip. So if this video was helpful to you, you may hit like, subscribe if you haven't yet. You may share this video as well. And again, enjoy.